Hi, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Jenn Rosen. I am a regenerative health practitioner and coach, and I'm just very excited for you to come on tonight to learn more about Purium and this great opportunity. We're going to be talking a little bit about our products as well as the business opportunity at the end. And so if you are here for health or for a business opportunity, this is going to be a great call for you. If you're here, someone cares deeply for you and wants you to hear life-changing information. I am going to kind of weave through a little bit about my story. If you don't know me, I was in chronic pain about a little over 2 years ago. I dealt with chronic nerve pain in the right side of my body. And so much so that I could barely roll over without pain or go on walks without pain. And I was around 30 years old when this started, way too young to be having that kind of pain. And it was really debilitating and affected my mental health. And whenever I would have pain, I would get kind of anxiety around that. Of course, it's, stops your heart kind of pain. I'm smiling, but really I was crying back then. I'm just smiling because I'm, excited that you're all here. But back then I was pretty much a puddle in my bed for many a days and would have to fake my way through life. I also own and operate a luxury wedding planning company here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it was probably one of the most stressful times in my life. If you hear children, it's because I'm also a mom and I have a puppy, so they're running around. That's the beauty of this business is you get to do things from your home and not leave your kids and your puppy and stuff like that. But so I'm just going to share some slides with you about this information. When somebody had mentioned this to me, I didn't really understand what it was. And so I feel really passionate about putting on calls like this because it's very informative, where when someone is reaching out to you and saying, hey, I have something that might be a solution to you, we want it to be very clear, informative, so that you can make the right decision for you. And we like to curate everything for the person. So what might have worked for me, we might suggest something a little bit different for you based upon what you're dealing with in your own body. So at the end, if we have time, I'm going to be able to open this up to a Q&A, and I would love to hear what you are going through in regards to your own body, because everyone has something different. But in regenerative health, we say, genetics loads the gun, but diet pulls the trigger, which could not be more true. In my own history, I also dealt with a lot of things that were generational, an autoimmune disorder that was a really rare skin condition. And my mom had that. I also had gestational diabetes. My mom was pre-diabetic. And so there's definitely these markers that I was dealing with that were similar to my history, but I no longer have any of those things. So you can change the course of your life. So I'm excited to share with you. I'm going to share some slides. It helps me stay, on time. I could talk to you for probably 4 hours tonight, but I value your time. Time is not a renewable resource like money is. So I'm going to try and stay on point and as quickly as possible. I try to keep these to 30 minutes, but we may go over to 40, but I'll do my best to stay on track here. All right. So I'm going to just close this screen. All right. So this is me. This is my family. So I'm just wanted to show you that I'm a real person. I have a real family. I come from humble beginnings. I was also during the pandemic, small business owner, and was really struggling to keep, make ends meet. We had bought our dream home, and then I couldn't pay for my dream home because I had no income coming in. And so I'll get into that here in just a little bit. But when I heard about this mission, it was right. It was like almost the right place at the right time. I was searching for a solution for my nutrition. I knew that I was missing something. I was trying all kinds of different things, from Western medicine to Eastern medicine to Chinese medicine to all kinds of things, acupuncture, chiropractor. You name it. I also changed what I was eating. I learned that, this autoimmune disorder that I dealt with, had to do with, the types of foods that I was eating. So I started to cut out refined sugar, and I did the Whole30, and I was trying all of these different things. Nothing really got to the solution or the root cause. And so when I learned about Purium, which really just means pure and premium together, so Purium. But you'll see under their logo, health, wealth, and planet. Those are three of their main pillars. They believe obviously in, health, planetary health as well. And then of course, the wealth of us Americans. And so their bigger, larger mission though, is really to end human suffering. I honestly didn't even realize this until a couple of months after I had partnered with this beautiful company. And when I started, I was selfishly looking for a solution for my own body. And when I heard about this, end human suffering, and that, we have this sick care system that we're in, which totally makes sense. I was in this rat race to find the solution, but never finding anything. And I was seeing my friends and my family suffering as well. And I found that the owners are so extremely heart-centered. They started with a farm over 30 years ago. And when they came together, they really started something beautiful, like this farm to family manufacturer that we have here. And so we provide access to pure organic, which is very rare in America to have organic, premium, convenient, and then storable food delivered across North America and then also in Europe. And so I love this quote here from the owner, Dave Sandoval, but food should be a right, not a privilege, which is so true, but it should also say quality food. It's a shame that the most healthy food for us is now really expensive. However, we're trying to close that gap here so that all people can afford healthy food in their bodies. So they are an organic, family-owned and operated company. And 2 decades ago, Dave and Amy, the two owners, shared a unified belief that raw organic food should be both accessible and affordable to everyone. And it should also be sustainable and conscious to both planetary and human health. And that is really hard to achieve these days. And they really have done that. I just got back from Dave Sandoval's land in California, and he is one of the most genuine, heart-centered humans I have ever met in my life. He comes from very humble beginnings. Actually, way back in the day, he was actually homeless. And if you talk to him long enough, he would just shed tears about his bleeding heart to really help people get out of suffering. So it's beautiful to be able to partner with a company that really is not about making millions and being the best and being the fastest. It really is about the mission. And of course, our superfoods are amazing. So I'm going to get to that too as well. But when I found out this statistic, I thought there's no way. That seems crazy to me, but this is a true fact that less than 1% of all food is grown organically. And then in addition to that, Purium is actually grown regeneratively. And we'll talk a little bit about the farms here. But what does regenerative health or regenerative farms mean? Regenerative health means we're getting to the root cause. But regenerative farming is getting back to the basics. So Purium adheres to a farm to family philosophy. And like I said, they've been around for over 28 years, 30 now, close to 30. But they control all of the processes. This is extremely important. And I didn't even realize how important this is. because a lot of foods that you will go and pick up from the store will have, manufactured by. So they might be a farm, but then they're manufactured by a different company, and there's cross-contamination and there's other things that are added. And how are they processing the food? So all of our food, like wheatgrasses and chlorella and herbs and fruits and veggies, all of them are controlled by us. We grow them and then we manufacture it, and we also distribute it. So we have our own trucks. Everything is transported by us, and then it is shipped out after packaging from us as well. So we use all live, organic, more than organic, because of the way that we grow regeneratively, activated and sprouted ingredients as well. So what does regenerative soil mean? So that means that there's life in this soil. And we crop rotate, which is extremely important. We add back minerals, water with natural spring water, and we only pick when it is at the very end, vine ripened. Also extremely important, because if you think of the chemistry of food, at its ripest is when we get the best nutrients from that food. So that's extremely important. And then the process of how we get it into our bodies. So we use this very special way of dehydrating the food, which means that it's not heated or cooled. It's actually wind dehydrated at like around 68 degrees. And then it creates this beautiful alive powder that then you would just reactivate with water. And so the difference is, a lot of the other products you may find on the market, it almost looks like sand, and it's not fluffy. It's not like actual food. There's a lot of additives, preservatives, binders, and then they heat or cool the product. So it's taking out a lot of the nutrients from the food. So bottom line is just, we believe in real food for real results. And let me tell you, I had some of the most incredible results personally. So like I said, I was in chronic pain, right? I was searching for a solution for over 6 years. And when I said yes to Purium, I was in a desperate place. And I was like, why not? I've tried it all. Tried all the detoxes and cleanses, and I've tried some nasty stuff out there. And she said it tasted sweet. So I was like, bonus. So I said yes, I did. I started with the superfood cleanse, and within 6 days, my body responded. In that first week, I had no nerve pain, and I could barely even believe it, because again, like I said, I had had this pain for so long, it almost became part of my life. And I was like waiting for the shoe to drop, like, oh, when is this going to wear off? When is this going to come back? When is this going to be an issue? And I'm happy to report I'm 1 year and 10 months into this superfood journey, and I have had 0 shooting pain come back. And so it really is amazing when you get the right food and the right chemistry into our bodies and you fill the gaps, our body just starts to respond and work properly. So our promise to purity and potency is very important. It's what makes us stand out. When I heard of this process, I was like so incredibly amazed, because again, I had tried all the different things on the market. So Purium has an in-house microbiologist that runs every single ingredient through a 5-tier quarantine, which is also, we use an infrared molecular scan to match for purity. So what that means is, everybody says, oh, our purity promise, but what is ours? So our specific purity promise is that there's no heavy metals, no GMOs, no pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, biocides, no binders, fillers, colors, preservatives, or additives. Purium adheres to beyond USDA organic standards. And then of course you can see there that we have all of these certifications. We are also kosher and vegan and non-GMO. So I also want to just touch on glyphosate here for a moment. So, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, biocides. So those things, what does that mean? So it's chemical pesticides and chemicals that are killing all living creatures and living bugs and, all of the things for weeds, And the problem is we started to spray in the 1970s. And the issue is we deemed it safe for human consumption because it breaks the shikimate pathway in our plants. The shikimate pathway is very important. We don't have it, which is correct, but we depend on the plants to make our essential 9 amino acids. And now that's broken. So that is broken. And then in addition to that, it breaks that in the plant, but it also kills every living creature in the soil, including our earthworms, the life in the soil. It literally causes death. And if you look at the farms today, they're not very moist and abundant looking. They're usually very dry looking, right? When you pass by an organic farm, you'll see more like this picture, very lush, and the soil is dense and full of life. And if you go to look at it, there's living creatures in it. There's earthworms. And why is that so important? I didn't ever think that I would be so geeking out on soil health, but it's so important because our soil health is our human health. So if you just think logically for a second, where are we growing our food? And that has to be healthy for our body to then feel healthy. So breaking it down a little further, we are usually not walking around protein deficient. Most of us are walking around mineral deficient, vitamin deficient, right? Vitamin D, C, A, magnesium, right? All of these deficiencies. Well, where does that come from? It comes from our soil health. Our food is void of the nutrients that we desperately need internally. And so when you look at the Purium products, we actually have all of those foundational things we need in our products because it's whole foods grown in healthy soil. So one more thing about glyphosate before I get into some of our main products, but glyphosate wreaks havoc in our body. It's known to cause cancer, autoimmune disorders, gut issues, brain fog, autism, ADHD, you name it. Because it will break the tight junctions in our gut, causing a leaky gut syndrome. So everything that you're eating is literally permeating out into your lymphatic system, causing all kinds of inflammation and acids in your system and other issues in your tissues. Also, it forms a mucoid plaque in your belly wall, which is no good. We need to be able to absorb and utilize our food. And so I'm going to talk to you about, our solution for that. So the first main product is our Super Aminos 23. These have been written up 23 times in the physician desk, and they're used for coma patients all over the world to keep them alive and their muscles from atrophying and their connective tissues strong, and collagen support, among many other things. So these are the 9 essential aminos that I just was talking to you about. And the reason why we have to supplement with them with whole foods is because we're literally void of them now from our food system. And even when we look at organic foods, sadly, that doesn't mean the soil health is alive, because organic just means that they're not actively spraying chemical pesticides. It doesn't mean that they're checking the soil, they're adding back minerals, crop rotating, and checking for life underneath the soil. And that's where all of the goodness comes from. And our essential amino acids, that's where they derive from, is the soil health, before they start forming in our plants. So that's why this is so incredibly important. And I kind of describe it like, if you are writing a sentence in your body, but you're missing your vowels, you're not going to really have a great time spelling that sentence, right? And most of us are feeling this way, feeling like there's something missing. I'm not doing well. I have headaches. I have gut pain. I have IBS. I have da, 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 right? I know not one person that is like, oh, I'm in optimal health. Thank you. I'm good. Right? Everyone is wanting to work on something in their bodies. And the super aminos is incredible because no matter what you're going through, these non-soy legumes go right into your stomach. They absorb within 23 minutes. And what the beauty of this is giving your digestion a break. Your body goes through a detoxification as well. So it has to go through other organs to kind of filter out what no longer serves. But with these, you're going to actually get 99.9% of them. That is insane. So let's say you are eating your protein, you're only absorbing the essential amino acids, the rest is discarded as waste, and our body can only really receive a small amount of that protein. So most of what we're eating, we're only getting, 15 to 30% of that said protein. So the grams of protein on the back of things, it's very deceiving because it really depends on how your body is processing it and actually utilizing it. So the Power Shake is one of our fundamentals. This is 96% of your phyto and micronutrient needs. And this is that soil health I'm talking to you about. This is like the vitamins that we're missing in our daily life. And the difference between getting them from a whole food source and isolated chemistry is large. So isolated chemistry is like if you have a vitamin C bottle and it says, 1,000 milligrams, well, that is made in a lab. And lab made vitamins are very hard on our liver. We have to go through this, again, detoxification process of that said thing. And then we only utilize whole foods. The rest is discarded as waste and free radicals, actually causing more damage in our tissues. And a lot of people will say, hey, I have yellow pee, I have like neon pee after I take my supplements. And that's an indication that your body is not absorbing it. It's just peeing it right out. So it's very expensive pee, as I would like to say. And then the biomedic is that solution I was talking to you about glyphosate. So glyphosate sticks into your belly wall. It's called mucoid plaque. It's this black tar-like substance, and it obstructs your microvilli from actually uptaking your nutrients and utilizing what you're eating. So this biomedic is awesome. It is a pre and probiotic as well. It has fulvic and humic acid in it. So amazing for digestion. I usually recommend 1 to 2 when you're starting out. And then this is going to just strip those biofilms away from your belly wall, and you'll actually eliminate it out. It's so safe. It's a proprietary herbal blend, and it is very effective. It is actually clinically proven to remove glyphosate and C-reactive protein up to 75% just in the first 30 days. And I can tell you, I used to have a distended belly. I mean, people thought I was pregnant, and it's sad to say that, but it's true. I had this really huge distended hard stomach. And after I did my first 30 days, that diminished and went away. I literally had like pounds of this sludge sitting up in my belly wall, and I had no idea. And so we're here to say there's a solution, which is so exciting. And then our apothecary is amazing. It's like drinking 30 cherries in one sitting. And why are cherries so important? Well, cherries are fundamental to helping your body naturally produce melatonin. Melatonin is that hormone made in your gut to help you fall asleep. It also will help you deep sleep. So get into that REM sleep overnight. It has high in antioxidants, helps reduce free radicals in your body. And then it will rejuvenate you. So the super aminos and the apothecary together, or just, taken in the same day, is actually an amazing collagen support for your skin elasticity. So the next 2 things I just want to touch on is 2 of our most popular packages. These are popular because you get a price break when you buy everything together. And what I like to say is we are truly transforming our life here. This food is some of the highest, most rare superfoods you will ever find in North America and across the world. So I told you 1% of our food is organic. Well, 0.03, I believe, very small, minute amount is these rare superfoods that we have in these products. So you are buying literally luxurious food that is going to completely help your body regenerate and get into cellular regeneration. And the first thing is what I started with right here. This is called our ultimate lifestyle transformation, or like what I like to call it is the 30-day reset. So for 30 days, you're going to take 2 superfood shakes a day. You're going to take 5 aminos in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, as well as your biomedic, and drink a little bit of cherry juice at night. And it's technically 60 superfood meals a day, or you can think of it like 2 meals a day, with a couple of snacks in between with organic, food as well. You will be eating. Of course, this is eating, but you also will eat food as well, whole foods. But the cherry juice is usually taken at night, but you can certainly sip on it throughout the day. And then in the middle portion, we usually ease in. So we'll do 10 days easing into the cleanse. And then you'll start the super cleanser, which is right here, which is an herbal blend where we are killing off parasites in your body. And this is extremely important. So we just went through this really hard thing in our, last 2 years. We won't touch on it, but usually people who had a really hard time had a very high parasite load. If you are dealing with viruses in your body, very high parasite load. Almost every single breathing human has a high parasite load in America. They feed off of our internal environment. They clean up our internal environment as well. And so the more we eat, unhealthy foods, we're going to have a high parasite load. So I recommend as a practitioner that, we do a cleanse at least once a year, if not 2 or 3 times a year, to really reset our body and get our body back to vibrant health. So that's this one here. It's $11 a day. And then this one is my favorite now. I wish I would have started with this one because I now can work out every single day. Prior to this, I could barely walk around my neighborhood, but I get to do all kinds of things now. I ride the Peloton. I can do stretching. I just walk 3 miles, or I could run. I can do all of that now, which I couldn't do before. And so this is our transformation plus our pre and post workout support. So you get some extra aminos, which are fundamental for energy prior to a workout and post. You also get some hydration here with cocoa hydrate and aloe digest, electrolytes that you're going to add back into your body. Can't beat this. I drink it every day. Beetroots are so incredibly amazing for expanding cellular capacity by bringing oxygen to your cells. That is a pre-workout. Super xanthan is actually for removing lactic acid in your muscles. So I used to be so incredibly sore, I could barely walk the next day. And now utilizing this product, I can recover that much faster and not be in so much pain where I can't even hardly walk. And then we have a recovery drink, which is called our MVP Sport, which has adaptogenic mushrooms in it and an amazing pea protein blend of just lots of added protein for recovery. So those are 2 of our main products. And I love telling you my story, but I wanted to have another amazing dynamic share for you because it's important to hear stories, because in other people's stories, maybe your miracle. And it's important to share with one another with our successes and how it's been working. And I'm going to invite on Kris Roach, my dear friend and business partner. She is going to be sharing just a little bit about her journey and why she feels so passionate about what we're doing here. Kris, are you here?
I'm here.
Lovely. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to share my story, Jenn. I always appreciate it. So my health journey just began from the very beginning when I was born, really. My mom tells me I was colicky, and from there it took off. I had ear infections, got tubes in my ears, then had terrible seasonal allergies. By the time I was 7, I was on steroids. And, no one around me really knew what to do. It was all Band-Aid solutions, just to make me feel better as a kid. And really what I've learned now is my symptoms were so common, but they're just not, they're not normal. The body shouldn't act like that. But again, no one knew. So my life just kept plugging along with all of these little symptoms. And as I went to college, I added on sinus infections and yeast infections and terrible monthly cramping. And it just kept going into terrible stomach aches. And I like to think about it that in the beginning, my body was probably giving a tap on the shoulder to wake me up, let's try something else. And then it would whisper. And then when I wasn't listening, or no one in my family was listening, it just started yelling. And the pain and suffering was a lot by the time I was 30, and it had altered a lot of my life. And someone introduced me to holistic health and a chiropractor, and he said, you should take dairy out. And I said, okay. So I went on a 4-month dairy-free detox, never even heard of a detox before I did that. And I felt really good. So I stayed that way. I thought it would be for a lifetime, but 6 years later, as I got close to 40, I started getting sick again. And I got, my immune system went down. My stomach was hurting all the time. And now they told me that it was a gluten intolerance. So I gave up gluten for a year, and I said, can I go back? And they said, no, your body can't handle gluten or dairy. You can never go back. Okay, well, I feel pretty good, so that's okay. Again, I made it 5 or 6 years, and then it all started going south again. This time it was heavy brain fog, a lot of hormonal stuff. Everyone told me it was perimenopause. I started gaining weight that I'd never had on before. I just could not believe that this was happening again, to be honest. By this point, I had gone back to school. I'd got a degree in health coaching. I was teaching people how to feel better, and I was starting to feel miserable again. So let's see, in the last 7 years, I tried food sensitivity testing. I went to a nutritionist and dietitian. We started doing B12 shots for energy and mental health, which did not work at all, but it was a nice try. I did functional medicine doctors. I did holistic doctors, chiropractors, acupuncturists. I couldn't find an answer. And honestly, spring of 2021 now, I was walking my dog on a beautiful spring day, and I just looked up to the skies and I said, I need an answer. I just need an answer. It's been a long haul. It's been 7 years, and I don't want to feel like this anymore. And it's not normal. And within a month, I was introduced to somebody who introduced me to Purium. I didn't even think about it. They just said, you should try this 30 days. And I said, done, sign me up. I've been looking for an answer. You must be it. And I kind of muddled my way through this first 30 days, and then everything changed. Literally, it's mind-blowing how much changed. And now it's been 16 months and the 37 pounds is gone. The hormones are normal. I'm not in heavy perimenopause. My brain fog is gone. Like Jenn, I can work out again. I couldn't work out because I was so sluggish. I couldn't get out of bed without a heavy alarm. My life is back. My kids have me back as a mom. My husband has me back without being so crabby and emotional. Literally everything changed from that prayer and from one person just saying, you should try this. So since then, I've just been thinking about it, that I've always had a side hustle, to be honest. I never thought about it really, but I've always worked 2 gigs. It's just kind of fun. I work my day job and then I go do something where I meet people. I've done jewelry sales. I've done, wellness products for the home, for cleaning and all these different things. And I'm just a natural sharer. And so when Purium fell in my lap, it was another opportunity, but I have to tell you, it was actually completely different than anything I'd ever done, because none of my other side hustles had ever introduced me to a community that was so supportive and so uplifting, like this community that I'm in now. I mean, Jenn and the women around me, I am just blessed. I've just never met anyone like them. And the products, I used to tell people about the products I liked from a company until they introduced food products, because the food products were terrible. All the chemicals in the food products, and I had to stop sharing because it really wasn't ethical for me anymore. I couldn't share half the products. The company as a whole kind of lost its way in my mind. So these products, unbelievable. I've never heard of soil health before, even when I was a holistic health coach. And now I've just deep dive into all of that. Everything's changed. And these products and the way they're grown, the way we're helping each other, heal, we're helping our children, and we're helping the planet. It just is like, it's everything. It feels like everything to be a part of this. Jenn told you the company mission in the beginning, and it just is incredible. I was able to go to California last week with Jenn and the ladies and meet Dave Sandoval and be on his land. And it's life-changing. I don't think I've ever been so in alignment with my soul before. I feel like I've arrived with where I'm supposed to be. It's time for us to heal. And I'm so excited to be a part of this. And then lastly, I have to say, I'm a natural sharer, but I never really thought about compensation plans. I got paid by other companies, but they were so little. The checks were $30 and $40. It was just, didn't really matter. And Purium pays me to share something that healed me. They're like, pay me really well. It's mind blowing. I'm with this tribe. I'm with products I adore, a leader who is outstanding, and a compensation plan that just gives my family freedom to remodel our house and do little extra things and just to build a side hustle that actually pays me. So I'm just truly blessed. I'm so excited to be a part of this whole community. Thank you for asking me to share it tonight, Jenn. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. Ah, hold on. I can't stop smiling. My cheeks hurt. Amazing. I got chills. I mean, Kris, I've known you, but actually, I don't think I've ever heard you really share all of those things that changed. Absolutely amazing. And I am also blessed to know you and to be doing this business with you and this work with you. And like she said, we have such a dynamic community here, and everyone that we work with and everyone that we bring into this beautiful company is such a blessing, because we need more voices. We need your voice. We need everyone's voice. What we are trying to do here is shut down the chemical pesticide companies and turn our farmland back to regenerative health, regenerative grown, more than organic, and really heal our land and then heal our bodies in the same sense. So let's talk a little bit about like what that means. With this company, you also get this opportunity to build wealth while you're going through your health journey. Such a gift. I wanted to be a doctor, and I'm so thankful that things happened in my life that brought me full circle into this realm over here, into holistic health instead. The fact of the matter is, 66% of Americans right now are stressed about inflation. And I'm just going to be honest with you, I haven't even thought about it. And that is the power of this company. Before, when I was struggling to even make ends meet, right? During the end of the pandemic, this fell into my lap. And so I built my first company. It took me 3 years to go full time, where I felt comfortable with like a semi full-time income. Right. And what I did here is I did that in 2 months, what it took me 3 years to build with my solo entrepreneurship. And so I was like, whoa, like Kris said, they are very generous. They actually pay out 44% of all of their profits to the field, which is us. So also what's crazy to think about is the average American is only $400 away from a financial crisis. So if the car breaks down, what do you do? If if something happens to your home and it's not covered by insurance, I just had that in my home. I had water coming in from the outside like a flood. I don't have flood insurance. I had to pay for that by myself. And so all of these things do happen. And so are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have a savings account available to you? Do you have a surplus? Are you wanting to pay off debt? What is it? So ending human suffering is amazing, but that includes financial stress. Financial stress will make you unhealthy. That will send you down a health issue, a health crisis. So whether you're looking to make an extra $500 a month or replace your full-time income like me and then some, I have almost 5 times my full-time income now over a year and 10 months. But Purium really meets that moment with our health, of course, and our wealth. So we call it brand partnering. It is social sharing, but it's ethical. It's done with gift cards. So it's just like any other company that you may have partnered with already. So they give you a code, you give it to your girlfriend, they get $10 off and you get $10 off, right? The same thing goes here. So we have a discount code for your people that you recommend. They get 25% off the retail price, a wholesale price, and you get paid for giving them your code and recommending Purium. So you would make 20% off of a loyal customer. And as you spread this beautiful mission and bring in other brand partners, you make 5% of everything they do to come. And so to brand partner with us looks like taking care of your health. They give a free business because they want this to be accessible to all people. Everyone has a seat at the table here. It doesn't matter your background, where you're coming from, what your goals are. Everyone has a seat here. So if you are purchasing one of our qualifying packs, you get a business at no additional cost. Such a blessing. And so the investment for purchasing a business, which is so crazy to me, is $179 to $524. I went to almost a year and a half without paying myself, building my own company because I refused to get into debt. A year and a half. That's a very big investment. Okay, so this is a very small, very, very minute investment, and you're actually taking that investment and putting it into your own health. So upgrading, let's talk about that. So there's also an opportunity that if you were to become a customer and purchase, you also get an opportunity to upgrade and become a brand partner 1+ months after you purchase at no additional cost as well. Okay. So obviously you can earn an income here. And this is pretty small. You really can't read this, but I put these images in here just so you can see that we have a very competitive, very good compensation plan. So if you're like me and love the numbers, I'm a business-minded woman. I cared and deeply about the compensation plan. Did I know how to read it? Not really, but now I'm very good at it. But I had been in other social sharing platforms, and this by far is the most lucrative compensation plan I have ever seen. And I have looked at many of them. And what that means is, and I'll go to the next slide, but you can see here, as you build this company, the idea of building wealth gets really real. And in the beginning, you have an opportunity to, this is a little bit easier for you to see. In the beginning, you have an opportunity to earn large money quickly. And so there's these opportunities here for you to rank advance quickly and earn $3,500 in your first couple of months or faster. And then whoever brings you in is going to be very involved with you and help you and link arms with you, because they also receive a matching bonus for their efforts in helping you. And so that is what helps us staying connected with our business partners, because we're obviously being rewarded financially. But in addition to that, we see you as a person, as a real, a real human. And so we're going to help you in your health. We're going to help you in your business. And we set up a specific feed for all of your business questions, your health questions. We have 2 calls a week for any health related questions as you become a customer. And so our team specifically is strategically set up for duplication and helping everyone come in and get wildly supported. So we have weekly support calls. We have health and business opportunities like this. We help you launch your business with launch events. We also have one of the best customer retentions in the health and wellness world. And we also offer a 60-day money-back guarantee empty container, which is also very hard to find. We train you on product information. There's product info sheets, so you don't have to remember everything. It's just there for you as a resource. So I said I was going to keep this short. I'm sorry I lied to you. It is 7:48, but like I said, I can speak about this company for literally hours. But I'm going to open it up to Q&A very quickly. If you need to go, blessings. Thank you for joining. Please reach back out to the person who brought you here. They can help you with any additional questions. And we would love to write a specific protocol for you based upon what you are going through in your body. So thanks for joining. And if you have a question, if you understand how to use Zoom, you can raise your hand. There's a little raise your hand feature under the reaction button on the Zoom. Otherwise, you can certainly use the chat feature as well. I'll just give it a few moments. All right. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Really appreciate it. And I hope you have a beautiful evening.